Hey ladies and gentlemen, Casual Crono here. It is mid-July 2026 and I only have a few weeks left of my summer vacation before I go back to work. And one of the series of super bosses that I've really been slacking on has been the Lavog series. I can't remember when I defeated Lavog Gamma, the first one, the one that's weak to earth attacks. But it was a while ago. And my earth team is not very strong, and I really struggled against this boss. I think I finally broke out Benedict and followed a strategy I found. And even then, I had Benedict when I first started fighting these bosses, and he just wasn't doing the damage I needed him to do. It was kind of frustrating. At some point, I don't know, maybe I waited 6 months or a year and I came back to it. I did defeat Gamma. Once you defeat Gamma, the other 4 Lavogs, and I'm not sure it's Lavog or whatever. I'm going to call them Lavogs. The other 4 open up. And then I think if you defeat the other 4, then a fifth one, well, I guess it'd be 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. I guess a 6th Lavog that you can use Guilty Hades with appears. But first things first. There's one that's weak to fire, one that's weak to wind, one that's weak to thunder, and the 4th one is weak to water. Well, my wind team has always been my strongest team. And I think it was either last summer or maybe over Christmas break. But I thought to myself, you know what? I got a decent wind team. I'm going to try Lavog Gamma. And I wasn't recording at the time, and I really wish I was, because I one-shotted him. After gosh knows how many times I tried the Earth one and struggled on it, the Gamma one just keeled over backwards to Sesta and company. And that was before I even had Shiguri ES. I think I was still using Shaney Alter as my tank. So, I mean, you can go back in my videos and kind of get a time frame of when I was using Shaney. But, yeah, that Lavog went down fast. And I was not expecting it. So I'm sorry I don't have a video. As far as I understand it, you cannot refight these fights. But that leaves the water, fire, and thunder Lavogs still available. Alpha, Beta, and Epsilon. And I have what kind of got me started on this, in part because now that the battle list is out, it's a good time for me to go back and kind of fill in whatever gaps I have. And some of them, they're like character quest fights, and I can't do anything about those because I don't have the character. But some of the more recent stuff I've been kind of sort of working on. In fact, I haven't... I don't even know what number it is. I knocked this boss out just a little while ago. And some of the Mul and Kun bosses, finally knocked that one out. That one actually I defeated on the first try. I wasn't expecting that either. But that one I believe I can refight, so I'm planning to go back and make a video about this one. So I've been catching up. I have 544 out of a possible 578 encounters completed. And I thought it was high time I revisit the Lavogs. John Doe and I were talking about on YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, I really need to get back to this. So thank you, John Doe, for kind of spurring this along. Hopefully there's something to spur. So with that in mind,
everything seems to be in order.
Let us switch over. All right. So I have all of them up on the wiki right now that I have not defeated. Gamma is the one that is, I don't want to say weak to wind. I guess I already did say that. The Lavogs, if you hit them with one particular element, that's fine. If you use typeless attacks like Benedict, Shanghua, Yuna, for example, that's fine. But if they take any type damage other than the one that's specified, then suddenly they basically become unkillable. and it's not technically unkillable because I was able to do damage on one of them, but it was like very low damage, like double digits.
Everything seems to be in order.
The Lavogs, being kind of an older boss at this point, they only have, I say only, they only have 1 billion health. And you would think, let's go back to the team, you would think, oh, well, power creep, no big deal, right? And let us go to Parallel Nagsham, where they have a 1-turn test dummy that records your highest damage output. And I was goofing off, I wasn't even being serious about it. And my current record is 711 billion. So I could have killed 711 Lavogs during that one AF burst. So it's not like my teams can't do damage. Obviously they can. It's just that the Lavogs have a number of mechanics where it's not really about the damage, it's really about how you control the fight. So with that said, it's been so long. I think it was Reflect that has the Lavogs. Nope. It's been way too long. There we go. There's Crimson Cater Gamma. There's Delta. There's Alpha. And there's Epsilon. I think those are the 3 I still need to do. Right? Double check the wiki. Alpha, Beta, Epsilon. Okay. So I guess I did Delta. Alright. Alpha is up there. Epsilon is over there. Where is Beta? There's Beta, right there. So those are the 3 that I'm going to attempt. Knowing me, if I get really bogged down on one boss, then the video will become about just that one boss. I'm really not looking forward to making a 4-hour video, 3.5 hours of me wiping to the same boss over and over. But if power creep works, maybe this video will be quick. I don't know. So let's just go in order. Let's go to Alpha first. And what I intend to do, that's right, there's really no map to navigate, it's just right there. Alright, what I intend to do, I'm going to switch over to the wiki, read about the boss in particular. Let's do that right now.
Everything seems to be in order.
And I will create a team that I think might have success on the boss. And we're going to find out. So, with that in mind, let's go to the wiki. So, the Lavogs. If you're not familiar with this fight, the Lavog starts off as one creature, and I guess it has 1 billion health, and you knock out 1 billion health, and then it splits into 5 creatures. One of the 5 is labeled the core. That's the one you have to kill to win the fight. The other 4 is basically diversions. And you can't AE them down. If you AE them down and kill a division instead, then the fight resets. And if you try to AE all of them down and kill all of them at the same time, the reset occurs before the victory. So yes, you killed the core, but because some divisions along the way got killed, then the fight's going to reset even though the core died. And the divisions have 500,000 health, so it's not like you can, do like 500 million health. So it's not like you can do like 990 million health and then on the next turn just smack the core for another 10 million or something. So it's tricky. Alright, so we are in Lavog A's territory. Activates when taking type damage other than fire. So we need fire types or we need typeless like Shanghua and Benedict. And we also need to make sure our sidekick does not do something. If we use Tetra, for example, Tetra at the end of Tetra's turn does a lightning attack, and that will trigger the aura. At least in my experience it has. So we need to make sure we pick sidekicks that will not trigger the aura either. Alright, so start of turn. It gives status immunity once, which means if you try to put pain on the boss, the first time you try to put pain, it's going to fail. But if you do it 2 times in the same turn, then it'll go through. Alright, stacks 1 Twinkle, that sounds weird, on all party members and reduces another force gauge by 10%. So you can't rely on the another force gauge. And Twinkle lowers my resistance, my physical resistance. Really? Magic attack, magic attack, magic attack. Why would my physical resistance even matter? Oh. Some of the divisions have blunt attacks, so it will make them hurt me more, I guess. Alright, so what to expect? On turn number 1, according to the Wiki, my entire team is going to get lit up, and Lavog is going to get more powerful. Turn 2, fixed max HP damage to all enemies. So if my max HP is 10,000, then I am guaranteed 3,500 in damage. Now, if I'm hurt from the first attack and I have less than 3,500, then this will become lethal. So I have to make sure that I have a way to heal, which is kind of good practice for RPG games. Alright, looks like a fire magic attack on single enemies, but there's 4 of them. So I guess it could all 4 go to a rage tank. And then a fire magic attack on all enemies and fixed damage. When I reach a 50% HP stopper, that is the big burn, which I believe the big burn is when all the little Lavogs appear and you have to defeat the right one. And the correct one is going to be the top right corner, it looks like. And I have to kill it in 20 turns, or they're going to wipe my team. And I don't think there's any gimmick in the world that can give me 5 million health on a character. I could probably do about... In fact, I have done over 55,000 before, but not that many 5s. Alright, so we kind of have an idea of what's going on. Let's switch back to the game now. So what we need is a fire team that can also do single target damage. So I'm going to go to my fire party. Ewan does do single target damage. I have that advantage. I know that Iffy and Pain, she can cast Pain, but every single turn the boss is going to be immune to it for 1 attack. So I could replace one of these characters. Actually, Ewan also has Pain, doesn't he? Yes, his Fire Smash does Pain. So if I cast Fire Smash and if Iffy applies Pain, then one of those should go through. Okay, I like that idea. We can try that. Alright, Lava Impact is single enemy, so that's good. It reduces fire resistance, improves fire attack, and attacks again. Alright, let's make sure the party is geared first of all. I think she already is. Okay. And I could be good and try to dumb down the gear, but I don't like these bosses, so I'm not going to. Sorry, not sorry. Alright. Faded Starproof, Faded Starproof. Carmilla? Why do we have a Carmilla? I have enough Faded Starproofs now. Fire support. Save. Alright, which, though that is important skill. Acrophilia is not a fire attack, so I definitely need to swap it out with Hypnophobia. Fire and non-type attacks, good. Fire and non-type, do I want crack shot? Single enemy. Maybe I want regen. Yeah. And Minalka, what does she have? Fire attacks. I never really seem to use overkill. It hurts her, and I don't like that. It would give me a second way to deploy an awakened fire zone, though. But is there something better I could use? I guess really the only other thing, do I want her to have more health? Actually, I might. Let's do that. Alright, we cannot use Tetra. Well, Tetra does, it says it's a magic attack. It doesn't say it's a type attack. I might be able to use Tetra. You know what? This is a learning video. I'm not expecting to walk in and one-shot it. So we're just going to use Tetra and see what happens. Alright, Moke. Activates on weak point damage, but we're not necessarily hitting weak points. And I don't think this party creates an expose. So Moke might actually not be the best choice. Kurobo would reduce power and int, but he'd also reduce my party's power and int. Guns. Guns normal style. When the AF gauge is empty, everyone's stats goes up. That might be helpful, as long as I make sure that Guns is not in the front line, because he does thunder attacks. Okay. So, when I'm about to face a new boss, I kind of go in more just learning about the fight. I'm not really expecting to win, which is why the Wind Lavog surprised me so much. So I think we have everything settled. And what we do if we lose, which we probably will, must have fought it before at some point. So when we lose, we will try and figure out what was the problem and try to compensate for it. Alright, already we cannot blow the AF gauge. We are going to inflict rage. We're going to do 2 pains and hope that one of them goes through. And we'll go ahead and get the HP MP regen going. And let's just see what happens. Okay. There's pain. Good. Wow. That was powerful. Alright, drained some of the gauge. Alright, pain stayed, that's good. Alright. Alright, Bad Star Rising is lit up. It says activates on taking fire damage. That is... Oh no, it's not lit up. Okay. So Tetra's attack did not trigger the evil aura. Okay. So we can see that we've done some damage. So Do we still have Rage? Yes, we do. Alright, Annihilator is going to improve her max health. We'll go ahead and Nocturnal Procession, because the boss is debuffed a little bit. And this is where the Wiki can come in handy. I'm going to... Turn 2. It's going to do fixed damage to my entire party. Okay. Which means on turn 2, I can go ahead and take that opportunity to do destruction. And we will go ahead and overload. Alright, fixed damage to Ewan, and he healed it back. So let's try this now. Ewan has buffed from destruction. We have a permanent pain on right now. So let's try Lava Impact and see what happens. And according to the Wiki, turn 3 it's going to do 4 magic attacks. Now that said, the Wiki also mentions... can you see that? Yeah, most of it. Okay, when you hit the 50% stopper, Big Burn is launched. However, the action is still performed. The Big Burn will dispel all buffs and debuffs and break zone. And then it will still take the turn, so no matter what, I'm going to face the 4 hits of fire magic. And that means all of my buffs, things like the max HP and all that stuff, are going to be gone. So I can try to do Annihilator. He's going to dispel like my power and int buffs and everything. So I'm going to re-Nocturnal Procession. Half me wonders maybe, is this the right turn? Is this the right turn to knock his health out? I'll live and learn. Alright, that's preemptive, so that's not going to be helpful. We'll try a Hobnob again. Alright, well let's just see what happens. Okay, Ewan goes first, which is kind of good. Okay, there's the Big Burn. Alright, she is definitely knocked out. Ewan is knocked out, but he's revived at least. She's knocked out. She'll get revived. Alright. So now, what turn is it? If we want to make use of Ruin Carnation, we have to wait 5 turns. Oh. Can't hurt to try. Alright, so let's do that. If nothing else, it's weakened a little bit. But I'm pretty sure he's going to wipe them fairly soon. Pain is still on him. You know what I could do? I could Blood Contract. Well, if I gotta wait 5 turns and he's gonna attack 4 times, that's just not gonna work too well. Alright, Okay, so the Shade Zone is just so Renri can survive if she gets knocked out. That put Blood Contract back on her. Alright, we'll just Rosa Liliac again and Hobnob again. We're basically just playing the waiting game. And we're pretty sure when he does his 4 attack, magic attack, he'll kill them. Alright, we are 1 turn away from Ruin Carnation, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to matter. Knob, Blaze. Yep. Well, let's just see what happens. He is debuffed a little bit. Maybe instead of 30,000, it'd be 20,000. Ooh, I was right. Oh, there's the revive. Wow, she survived that one. Wow. Well, that does mean Tetra can be used. Alright, well, front line, front line, front line. Can she survive? Well, we're in a fire zone. Which probably is not good for Flame Crater. Yep. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and we can force quit this. So I will do that now, and we will do attempt number 2. Welcome back. So this is what I'm thinking. Ewan was not having too much difficulty doing damage. So I'm not sure if he needed all of the huge number of buffs that the party provides. I liked how Ewan and Iffy could both throw in pain, and that would stay. The main issue was that 4-hit magic attack that was doing ridiculous amounts of damage. So I wonder if we can reduce that. Whenever I am taking a huge amount of damage, my first thought is to use Yuna, normal style.
Me? Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure. Yuna's Divine Vessel stacks 2 things. It stacks a Burn Away, and it stacks an Inspired. The Burn Away reduces the enemy's power and intellect by 50 points. Not percent, but points. I can stack up to 3 of them, so I can reduce Lavog's intellect by 150. At the same time, I can improve my party's health by 1,500, because each Inspire does 500 points. She does technically have a Revive as well if I use it in a Stellar Burst, so I don't necessarily have to rely on Tetra. Now, will 150 points of intellect reduce the damage that much? I don't know. She does have an inversion effect with Divine Vessel, which reverses buffs. So when Lavog buffs himself, if Divine Vessel's inversion works, he could actually weaken himself as well. So I think I'm going to put in Yuna. Looks like she's equipped with several things. I'm going to put in Yuna in place of Renri. I'm going to lose Renri's link, which I don't really like, but the boss only, and I say that because I know for some people that's a lot, but the boss only has 1 billion health, and Ewan can normally hit something like that. Alright, where's my health? That's intellect. There it is. I'm going to steal Renri's HP badge. Sound body staff, I guess, could be helpful. What would Renry have? Oh yeah, Renry is holding things like power of fire and stuff. Alright. Resident power shadow. Alright. What else did Renry have? Power of offense fire. That helps when in a fire zone. Not 100% sure that's really required. It only buffs damage by 15%, and Ewan is already a beast. I might want to focus more on survivability. So let's see. Light, shadow, health, and alright. And then Faded Starproof. Alright, that gives her 8,000 health to start with. We still have 3 shadow users, so Ewan should still be in Vital Flame mode. It requires 3 or more shadow allies. And Yuna is light, but the 3 of them are shadow. Alright. Let's see if Yuna's addition helps the situation. Alright. I don't think Divine Vessel will invert his natural defense, the Brilliant Male. Alright, we'll do Divine Utterance. We'll go ahead and get Pain on there. And Rage. Alright, so this is turn 2. We're going to do Divine Vessel now. That will do a Burn Away and the Inspiration. I'm going to go straight to Lava Impact and see if that will knock this guy out. We will Nocturnal Procession and we will Annihilator. Alright, his intellect is down by 100 points now. He only attacked once. Alright, she gets revived. I wasn't watching Ewan's health too much, but... Alright. We'll do another Divine Vessel to get the 3rd stack of Burn Away. I'm going to do a Destruction so we don't hit the stopper on this turn. We're going to do another Rosa Liliac. And... we'll do another Doom. Alright, let's see how much damage the magic does now. Instead of 30,000, 2. I can work with this. Now that's not only the burnaways, but some of the inversions. but that gives me hope. Alright. So let's do an Annihilator again. Let's do Nocturnal Procession again. Let's do Lava Impact. And since damage is low at the moment, let's cast Iridescent Blessing, which gives me an HP and an MP regen, because I am going through mana fairly quickly. Alright, this will be the HP stopper. It'll restore to full.
Cut it out. Shoo.
Alright, 5,000 or 500 and 3,000 I can deal with. So I think this is... Do I still have pain? I do not have pain. Okay. I'm kind of torn. I kind of want to blow the AF gauge, but I kind of don't. Let's go ahead and get pain on there. We'll redo Doom. It looks like he cleared his rage. And let's get that inversion up again.
Come on.
Alright. I think... Did we get pain on there? Yes, we do. I think... let's try and whittle him down and save the... hopefully save the AF burst for when he splits. Alright, so let's try attack. We just did Rosa Liliac, so we'll Nocturnal it. Let's Lava Impact it. And let's do a Divine Utterance, since we have the inversion for this turn. Hit number 1. Hit number 2. Hit number 3. Okay, he should split now. Alright, there he goes, clearing the buffs and debuffs. Alright, let's switch over. Where is it? Okay. If this is correct, and it's the wiki, and normally it is, the core is the top right one. So that should be this guy here. So here's what I am thinking. Because we have both the AF gauge and the Stellar Burst to use, but the core does not have pain yet. So let's do this. And this might be stupid. Let's burst with the Stellar Gauge. We're going to try maybe knocking the whole thing out this turn. Alright. Alright, fire. Mortal Sin attacks the enemy, a single target. Rosa Liliac is going to debuff everybody and use up its 1 pain point. I'm just going to go ahead and Lava Impact and see if I can even do any damage right now. And we're going to Divine Vessel, which is going to invert all 5 of them and stack 1 burn away on everybody. And that will weaken everybody. Alright. We're doing some damage, but there's no pain on there. Okay. So now we are going to blow the AF gauge. I'm going to cast Divine Vessel, Lava Impact, 1 more Rosaliliac to get the pain on there. And I guess I'll do a Doom just to be on the safe side. And then I'm going to spam everyone's first skill. Hypnophobia attacks all enemies, but I don't think she's going to be strong enough to kill anyone. Alright, so we are going to do 1, 1, 3, and then all 1s on this guy. 1, 1, 3, 1. Going kind of slowly. Do we have a HP stopper on it? Yes, we do. But thanks to all of the divine, basically because of Yuna, everyone now has 3 stacks. Okay, keep doing 0 damage, I'm fine with that. And we did get pain on the core. Alright, so if I'm figuring this out, now that we've blown the AF gauge, Gunce's aura is in effect and everyone's stats are up 20%. Alright, we're going to... There it goes. We're going to Doom and try and get Rage on everybody. Actually, I guess the status effect thing might be blocking Rage. Let's do Annihilator, Nocturnal Procession, Lava Impact, and we just cast Divine Vessel, so now is a good time to do, let's do Divine Utterance. Come on, y'all, just survive. Come on, just go. Any day y'all want to go. There's 1 hit. 2 hits. 3 hits. Okay, I'm pretty sure if Ewan can go 1 more time, we're gonna win. Alright. Divine Vessel. Lava Impact. It's Rosaliliac again. And I guess let's Doom again? Hopefully Yuna goes first. I mean, it'd be great if Ewan went first, but I want Yuna's inverse. I see a lot of up symbols, and I don't like up symbols. I want debuffs. This is where speed helps a lot too. Okay, come on, Yuna or Ewan, anyone, go. Alright, there's Yuna. Alright, we got some debuffs. Come on, did that do it? Was that the right one? Yes! Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We tried it once. We identified our weakness, which was too much incoming damage. And we swapped out one character for someone else that could reduce damage and help keep the team alive. And was still able to meet the conditions. Yuna was typeless, so she did not trigger any auras. So that team worked. I was starting to get a little worried there at the end because all the Lavogs were taking turns really fast. Which Nocturnal Procession, Rosa Liliac does reduce speed as well, so they were still moving pretty fast even with the speed reduction. Unless those were all preemptive. Let's check, were they? No, it doesn't say preemptive for any of them. Okay. Whew. Alright, well, Lavog Alpha done with this team. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and I'll probably make that its own video as well, so people looking specifically for Lavog Alpha can find them in YouTube. But we're going to keep going. We're going to, I guess, go to beta next. So, and yeah. All right. Pause recording. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Casual Crono here, continuing with the Lavogs. It is possible this might be a standalone video for people specifically looking for Lavog B beta. But it's a middle of the summer, and I figured there's 3 Lavogs I have not defeated, and I just figured I'd try binging them all. I just knocked out Lavog Alpha, the Fire Lavog. Yay. And we are going to move on to Lavog Beta, which is right there, next to the whirlpool looking thing. All right. If you did not watch my previous video, if you're watching the standalone video, I am using the Wiki to kind of read and plan for the fight. And so my hope is, if I'm reading this and I'm interpreting it and you're following along, then you can get into the habit of kind of referring to the Wiki, reading the effects, and deciding what teams to bring into the fight. So let's read about Lavog B Beta. Alright, first of all, type damage other than water is bad, and that includes sidekicks. Some sidekicks that do typeless damage, like Tetra, not a big deal, but others like Gunts that do thunder damage, not so good. If we trigger this aura, it beefs up its physical and type resistance tremendously. Alright, when HP is 10% or less, it barrier pierces, but I'm not really using barriers, at least with the previous parties, so. Okay. It has 1 occurrence of status immunity, just like Lavog Alpha, which means if I want pain on the enemy, I need to cast pain twice in the same turn, once to use up the immunity and the second time for it to kick in. Alright, I stack 1 Twinkle Star on all party members and drains another force gauge. Okay. It does a Water Blunt attack, inflicts pain and poison, does a fixed 2,000 damage on a single enemy and darkness, Water Magic attack and confusion, Water Blunt on all enemies, and the confusion attacks 3 times. So potentially 3 of my party members could be confused if I don't block it somehow. At 50%, it dispels everything, breaks zone, and once it uses up 1 billion in health, it will split into 4 divisions and 1 core. According to the wiki, the core is the lower right enemy. The core has to be killed. The divisions, if they die, it resets the fight. So we don't want to kill division. We need to single target the core. You can't just AE everything. And the cores have the divisions have 500 million health. The core has another 1 billion. All right. So we want a water team for this one. So this is my current water team. Do I like it? All right, Verdanta has a lot of AE attacks. Frost Blossoms affects everybody. Not good. Sprinting Raid, all enemies. Marching Order. It's a medium level slash attack. Let's switch back to blue stacks. All right. All enemy. All enemy. So Verdanta, unless I try to whittle something down with marching orders, which I don't think the modifier is very high, Verdanta is not a good choice for this fight. So we need someone that can do water and lots of single target damage. Eva, her Finis Draco can be a water type attack as long as I keep a water zone up. That might not be a bad idea. Glacial Veil, Icicle Zorch, and what does Glint purge? It is a crystal attack. Not good. Well, we just won't use Glint Purge. That'd probably be the simplest thing to do. Let's just give her Mana Surf to be safe. Alright, so let's try this party with Eva. Now the other issue is Pain. We have Tetra. Moke, his aura, is it a him? Is it a her? I think it's a him. Can't remember, it's been too long. His aura will trigger on weak point damage, and I do have the ability, thanks to El Seal, to create weak point damage. Alright, let's go ahead and equip this team. And going from, or learning from the previous fight, I had a tremendous amount of success when I switched to Yuna. Of these 4 characters, Dunnerith is probably the one I need the least. So I am going to swap him out for Yuna. Why Yuna? Her skills are typeless. If I attack with Divine Vessel, I'm not going to trigger the aura. It does not say Earth magic attack or Thunder magic attack. It just says magic attack. And there's no color right here, so it is typeless. Now that said, let's see, what was... Okay, so that's what she was holding. Let's give her... I'm not playing around. This is a super boss that I've delayed for a long time, so I'm not trying to make this... I really apologize if you don't have some of these high-end characters or high-end gear, but I'm just not playing around with this. I want to win. All right. Let's see. Since we're using Eva as the main damage dealer, we need magic support. So we need to toss both of them. I have Fine
We got this, team!
and Kamlanaj, who can both hold 4 Grasta. I like that. Okay. I don't think I have a magic back. Yeah, that could work. Alright. We don't want Darkshade Staff. We want Power of Rapids Staff. Wherever it might be. Oh, Eva has that. Okay. Oh, we could try that. Alright. Power of Rapid Staff. That improves water type attacks for all staff users. We have Power of Awakening. We have Power of Offense. We don't need magic. We want water. And Resonant Power Shadow. Let's see. Fine is Shadow. Kamlanaj is Shadow. Light, 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 and light. Okay, so light would be the better choice if I have to choose just one, but I might have enough slots for both. Okay, staff, 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 water. Alright. Eva, we always look at personalities. Staff, water. We don't care about crystal. Dragon. So a Geru, for example, might be a good choice because he could hold Almighty Power Dragon. If I only need 3 Grasta, that might not be a bad idea. Alright, so what else can we possibly make use of? Enhance at low HP, possibly. Enhance if max HP, hopefully. Power of Awakening, staff covered. Sorry if you're bored, but I figure if I'm talking out my thought process, maybe it will make sense if you follow along. Alright. Enhance if max HP, staff. Yes, they do stack, in case anyone was curious. Power of pains, poisons, not much else. Okay, well that's good to know. In fact, I think we can get away with Geru. So let's staff, he is fire. We'll give him the 3 Grasta that Kamlanaj was holding. Actually, we'll give him 2 and Almighty Power Dragon. That one will buff up Eva's damage by 25%. Which means Yuna can hold the remaining Grasta that we initially gave to Kamlanaj, wherever it went. It's pretty far down there, wasn't it? There it is. And the rest of her Grasta can go to her own survivability. So let's do Dunnerous Power of Rebirth for a little extra regen, just in case. And do we want MP consumption? Might as well. Could do sound body staff, and actually that might not be a bad idea. What's Eva's health? Ooh, low. Staff. Sound body. Lowers her health a little bit, but it should bring up Eva to at least 5,000. Alright, other thoughts. We don't have a source of pain, so we need water type attacks 40% and 30%. Are those the best choices? We probably need something with bullseye now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, power of torrent is 40%. Bullseye, bullseye, bullseye. You know what? I think I have an almighty power or supreme power with bullseye. Not you. Not you. Bingo. Alright, so we have bullseye. Power of torment. Alright, int badge. Dryad's ring. Okay, well, Draco Mirage proof. Give this girl a faded star proof. Ah. Alright. Her health is a little low. I know it's going to go up some because of Yuna, but alright, so check, 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 check. Everyone does water damage. I absolutely have to make sure I'm in a water zone when Eva attacks. Otherwise, her finished Draco will be crystal, and I'm going to trigger. Oh, it's on all enemies. Well, that's not good. Why did I think it was single target? Lucent Magi, but that's crystal. Well, that just kills that whole preparation. Who's a good single target water character? Let's go to the wiki. They have their own little tier list. You can argue up and down, left and right if the order is correct. I do not care, but they do have the ability to sort. Alright. Area of effect. I don't have her. Support. Don't have her. Not S-Aid. Myris ES, I think, is support. Pre-Maya. I am human, and I'm recording this. Now, I don't have her Stellar Awakened. Does she have any strong modifiers? Yes, but a Thunder type. That's not helpful. Let's refresh this. I see a lot of broken links. Okay. Types. Water. Hismena. Rice. I don't know how to pronounce that. Rifestoles. Can go up to 3,200 based on how many buffs she has. And I can attack again in another zone. That might work. Okay. Well, sorry about that. Water. What was his main altar? Was she a sword user? Yes. So let's go back. Water and sword. I wonder if she's just going to be strong enough. Well, we're going to find out. Elpis, as always. She looks like she's going to pretty much have all of Verdanta's gear. I don't know if I've ever used her, to be perfectly honest. Alright, where is Almighty Power? There's one. We are not hitting weak points, so we don't need weak point anymore. Oh, okay, 30% and bullseye. I like that. Okay, we don't need 2 bullseyes, so where are 40% and does this actually work? Power of torrent. Yep, 40%. So 40%, 40%, and 30%. And absorbs and bullseye. Alright, so low on health. That makes me a little nervous, not gonna lie. Alright, his mana, IDA, sword, and water. Okay.
Time for adventure.
Well, Aldo and Verdanta worked well together, so check, 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 check. And we need an IDA. We have sword selected. IDA. Not on here. Personality. IDA school. Ah, Lunaria.
Morning, all.
You know what? Most of you have Ruina. Let's go with Ruina. Alright, Sword Grasta. We have Power of Rapids, check. Enhance if max HP, double check. Low HP probably will be helpful. Alright, we need, where's Personality? Where's IDA? Oh wow, there's 2 of them. Sweet. Well, let's just do both of them. Alright, sidekicks. Tetra for heals. Moke will no longer be helpful, so let's guns it. Actually, what's everyone's speed? 300. Where is Kuamaru? Whoops. Tetra and Kuamaru. Alright, Kuamaru has, if someone's speed is 300 or above, slash resistance is automatically up. And even if you don't have someone quite at 300, speed buffs will handle the rest. Okay, we have our damage dealer, tank, support characters, and inverse. That took longer than I expected. Let's see how this fight goes. I honestly don't think I've ever used his mana altar before. Which, now I'm thinking about, I should have checked her skills, shouldn't I? I don't even know what she's equipped with. Oops. Well, she does have the single target one first. Type attack improves for 3 moves. Oh, reduction of physical and water resistance. Alright. Holy Saber. Yeah, that's probably better. It's all enemy. Alright. So let's do that. Let's... Let's buff, I guess. And let's go ahead and get the inverse up right away. Alright, do we have rage? No, we don't, because of the status effect thing. Okay, well, let's just buff up type resistance. Let's just go ahead and attack and see what kind of damage she does. Let's reduce slash resistance some more. And let's get party buff. See if his mana can do any decent amount of damage. Not horrible. Isn't she supposed to attack again in a water zone? I think she is. Okay. Alright, let's Guardian Soul it. Well, let's just attack again. And let's buff and let's get that Divine Vessel, keep that up. It's... Huh, I don't see it up there anymore. So it's a good time to do it. Alright, we'll redo Iridescent Blessing. Lair to Zona, attack, and attack, why not?
Break time's over.
Did we hit the HP stopper? Does not... I didn't see a big burn or anything. I'm thinking this is where we hit the HP stopper. Yep, there's the big burn. Now we do have to kill this guy in 20 turns. And I'm not feeling this 20 turns right now. Are we on turn 6 already? Okay, so this is what we will do. We're going to blow the AF gauge right now. That way we can get Gunce's aura going. We'll Glace Misericord it. We have 4 stacks of intel, so that should speed things up a little bit. I can take this moment to debuff. And a couple of Holy Sabers, I should be able to inflict rage. So, we're going to do 1, 3, 3, 1, and then all ones. Actually, we might also deploy a water zone in the process. Maybe. 1, 3, 3, 1. There's our water zone. We did not do any damage. Gunce's aura should be in effect at least. Alright, redo elemental wall. Attack. We got those done, so we'll buff and buff. And I think it said when she was in water zone she would attack twice. There's attack 1. No, maybe not. It says when another zone is deployed, attack again. I wonder why she didn't. Okay, well. Now that said, survivability this time around does not seem to be a big deal, but we are already on what, turn 9-ish? Yep. And we are not even close. We haven't even gotten a division yet. Why isn't she attacking again? The Stellar Burst is not particularly helpful because his mana doesn't even have a stellar skill. Alright, so let's Holy Saber. Attack. I guess that's I just noticed Glace Misericord's exposure is not up. Is that considered a status effect? Interesting. Oh no. That's what it is. We need 4 water users in the front line to gain the exposure. And Yuna, while she should be, I think everyone agrees with me, she's not considered a water user. Alright, according to the wiki, let's switch back. The core is the lower right one. So, core should be you. And let's go with Divine Vessel and get the inverse going right away. I think we're going to run into a 20 turn problem. If some of their attacks don't kill me. Alright, let's get Water Zone. Let's just attack. Guardian Soul it or Elemental Wallet. Let's Guardian Soul it. And let's go ahead and buff. I just don't understand why she's not attacking twice. What turn are we on? We are on 13. Alright, turn 14. We should hit the HP stopper at turn 15. It's a lot of confusion. Go, Tetra. Go, Tetra. Alright. Turn 15, we should get one of those Big Bang things. Let's Elemental Wall, let's attack. Let's try Glace Misericord. And let's try Iridescent Blessing. I'm trying to choose things that, if we hit the Big Bang, or Big Burn, sorry, that will kind of last. At least survivability does not seem to be an issue here, but damage definitely does. If I burst, the only two characters that can even do anything would be her, which actually could work. Oh, let's do it, why not? Okay. Holy Saber will try to inflict rage on everyone, and it won't work because of the status effect. We'll go ahead and buff up right now because that's what we need.
A knight must protect and serve.
And now, with the status thing gone, I can inflict real rage. So let's reduce resistances. Let's buff. Actually, let's Leer to Zona it. And we just cast Divine Utterance, so let's go ahead and get the inverse going.
Nails here.
Alright. We should have rage on all of these people, and apparently we don't. Maybe it clears rage every turn. Alright, attack, attack. Does Leer to Zona stack? Yes. And attack. Alright, his mana attack. Let's see what kind of damage we're looking at. No, that's not going to be enough. What turn are we on? 17. Let's get a water zone in. How many turns left do we have that debuff? Let's do it anyway, and we still have inverse, so let's buff. The only hope we might have for this round... No, she just got confused. I think. The only hope I can think of... We have an AF gauge. If it drops down, we might still be able to use. Well, technically we do. We're on turn 18, but they didn't go because they were all confused. So did we Divine Vessel? I don't see the inverse going. Alright, she is still not attacking what she needs to be attacking. I don't think we're going to have much of a choice. We're on turn 19, I think. Yep. Alright, we're going to blow the AF gauge. Guess we're going to have to go all out on defense. Oh, that's right. Zuktigen is all enemy, so we actually were attacking what we needed to be attacking. Alright. So we are going to do 1, 2, 1, 1, and then all ones. And hope for the best. 1, 2, 1, 1. I wonder if a slash zone might be a little bit more effective. Well, ladies and gentlemen, turn 20. I'm pretty sure she's not going to knock out 500 million in one hit. I don't think they do anything to help. Oh, Kumar doesn't have a... Okay. Alright, well, Aegis. Let's make sure that we're fully buffed, I guess. Alright, attack. Attack for whatever it's worth. Attack and attack. I'm pretty sure
Nails here.
we're not going to be successful. But we lasted a pretty long time. Oh, look at that. If I hadn't cast that Zeit Tiger, whatever it was, 2 or 3 times, thinking I was missing it, I might have pulled that off. Okay, so in this case, defense was not a major problem, but offense was. And since we couldn't create a water exposure, maybe we should try Epsilon AS. There it is, Brilliant Star. So while I force quit so I could just start here instead of having to warp back, I was thinking of a few things. First, this time around survivability was really good. I did not have a problem with it at all. His mana, where is it? Okay. When another zone is deployed, attack again. That has not happened at all unless she attacked again at the exact same time as the first attack. And we had water zones up. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I do like reduction of physical resistance and water resistance. Okay, type attack for 3 moves, kind of an eh. And damage against weak points, we're not hitting weak points. So I'm not sure if that skill was very helpful. I could reduce enemies' power. I could give her a slash weapon break, which is kind of nice. She could awaken the zone, assume once. Let's reduce power and intellect and make sure survivability stays survivable. Okay, do we want to change anything here? I don't think so. I was pretty happy with it all. Alright, Epsilon. I do have her AS style. The main reason I use her normal style is because of Glace Misericord. When there's 4 water allies in the front line, I can create a water exposure, which means enemies are weak to water, and that's permanent. However, it requires 4 water allies in the front line, and Yuna is not a water ally. So I wonder if her AS form might actually be better. So I'm going to switch. I was using the Spectral Sword? Why was I doing that? Oh yeah, because illusion speed was in use elsewhere. Do I want to attempt to have her do any significant amount of damage? Probably not. Yeah, okay. Well, let's go ahead and just give her the speed. Alright, armor. Blue Heavens. Badge. Well, we aren't really using AF combo rates, so... I guess let's give her a 1750. Alright, Grasta. What was old Epsilon holding? Power of Rebirth. Is she holding any... Fine, Ukwaji, Fine. I guess I could always check this way. Boost proficiency, enhance if max HP water. Boost proficiency is here. And enhance if max HP water should be under attack. Power of offense water. Enhance if max HP water. There we go. Critical strength. Light shadow MP plus. She has 0 shadow. That doesn't really help that much. I assume since she's a slash user, it's based on power. I don't see anything else about that. Okay. Alright, L-Seal AS. A form I haven't used that much, but... Alright, I do know she has some type of link there. Okay. Mare ducks. Critical damage goes up. Barrier pierces, and with 4 water allies, which we don't have. We don't care about Cyclone Wind immunities, so... Well, critical damage would be nice. I do like that buff. Alright. Her stellar skill. Everyone gains Lunatic for 5 turns. And in Stellar Burst, increase skill hits by 1. I do like that. Alright. And that's single enemy. Water type resistance until the end of the turn. That's kind of nice too. Alright, and Hagel Kuze provides us with a water zone when we need it. Well, let's try those. Alright, do we want to do anything else? Is there any other way to boost her damage? Sword, water. The only other thing I could think of was to have a sword water ally in the background, and once normal style El Seal gets her 4 exposed stacks up, then we could swap Yuna out for 1 turn. She casts Glace Misericord to create the exposure and swap the character back. So that might be a thought as well. Well, let's just try this team and see how it goes. I guess I can't skip the scene. Maybe I shouldn't force quit, and that way I can skip it in the future. Alright. Reduce damage. Reduce water resistance. We're not stellar bursting yet, but we could put down a water zone. And let's go ahead and buff up. We'll see how much we can pump out damage. Defenses. Let's start attacking. Let's go ahead and buff and Divine Vessel. Alright, Guardian Soul. We'll keep attacking. Let's go ahead and lunatic her. And let's get the regen going.
Here you go.
Well, that did a lot of damage. Possibly promising. Alright, if I burst right now and give her the +1 hits, it'll just be cleared, I think, when it does the burn. So we're not going to burst quite yet. Attack, attack. We'll try this one, Tauren Spatha, which reduces water resistance 100% and it's preemptive, so she should always go before his mana. And do we have buff reversal up? No. Well, we're about to. Alright. That looks like half. Okay, that is half. Alright, so we're pretty much on par as before. It was around turn 5 that we triggered the big burn thing. I think it was turn 6 actually, so we might be a little bit ahead. Alright, he should have cleared buffs, so yep, we will go ahead and redeploy Water Zone and rebuff. Alright, now let's go ahead and burst, and let's get that +1 effect. Alright. We just cast Elemental Wall, so we can use this opportunity for Holy Saber and remove that stack. And we'll go ahead and, I guess, Divine... Did we Divine Utterance yet? See, I've already forgotten. We'll go ahead and Divine Vessel, and then during the turn we'll Divine Utterance. How about that? Sure. Alright, Holy Saber. We cast that last turn, so let's go ahead and Rife Stoltz. We just cast that, so we can Mare Vexillimate. And we'll Divine Utterance. We do have Rage going at the moment. Alright, attack, attack. We'll do this, which reduces water resistance. And attack. Alright, that did a lot of damage. I think 2 more will be what we need to knock him to the next phase. Attack, 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 and we'll keep the regen going.
Here you go.
Ooh. Did we knock him? Oh. So close. Alright. Holy Saber attack. Pretty much anything we do, he's going to dispel after this, so... yeah. Thought we were going to save a turn right there. Alright, big burn, everything's dispelled. But we do have an AF gauge to work with. Alright, so we have some choices now. I could blow the AF gauge, knock that guy down to his 50% stopper, and in the process do multiple Holy Sabers to give to bypass the one status resistance reduction. If I do that, what turn are we on? We're on turn 10. You know what? Let's not. Let's elemental wall. Reduce physical resistance. Let's get the water zone back, I think, first. And do we have Divine Vessel up? Yes. Let's get the buff up. Because my thought is, if we're going to try and save a few turns by blowing the AF gauge, we might as well get some buffs and debuffs up first and make it more likely that we hit the HP stopper. Alright, so let's Guardian Soul next. Rife Stoltz. Guess we should Lunatic again? Or buff first? That's 3 turns, that's 5 turns. And let's Divine Vessel.
Ready for this? Ready for this?
Alright, Holy Saber, attack. Marvex Element. And I guess let's get an Iridescent Blessing. Let's do Divine Utterance. Make sure those offensive buffs keep up. Yeah, I'm liking that. what I'm thinking is I'm trying to preserve both the AF gauge and the stellar burst gauge after we hit the 50% stopper. You know, Tetra is a lifesaver for all these status effects. Just going to toss that out now. Alright, let's Holy Saber again. Let's attack again. We'll reduce water resistance. And let's Divine Vessel it. Alright, there's the big burn. Last time when we were at this position, we were around turn 15. Alright, so we are one turn ahead. So switching to LCO AS has sped things up a little bit. Not much, but... Alright, we'll deploy a water zone. We need to rebuff things, so we'll do that. Reduce physical and water resistance. And I think we have, yes, we have the inverse going, so let's go ahead and do a buff for his mana. The temptation to blow the AF gauge now is so strong. But slow and steady. I sure hope the wiki is right about which core it is. Alright. So we did Elemental Wall. We'll go ahead and Holy Saber it, I think. We just cast that, so we'll go ahead and start the offense. Let's go ahead and Lunatic. Actually, I wonder if we should just Stellar Burst right now. It says it lasts 5 turns. Why don't we? We're on turn 15. Alright, so in that case, Holy Saber. Alright, we're going to Lunatic for 5 turns, and we're on turn 15, so that also gives us our +1 skill hit. We just cast Divine Utterance, so let's Divine Vessel the burst.
A knight must protect and serve.
By using Holy Saber during the burst, we used up their shield for status effects, so a second Holy Saber should create Rage. We will attack. We will Mare Vexellum it, and we'll go ahead and make sure that that stays up. Alright, they should all have Rage now, yep. Alright, waiting for his mana to attack. Still waiting for her to attack, I think. Did she not attack? Or did she attack and I just wasn't noticing? Alright, what turn are we on? 16. Holy Saber, attack. Torrent Spatha. And we'll Divine Vessel it. And let's see what kind of damage she does now. Oh, that's looking promising. I think we might be in a position where blowing the AF gauge might work once everyone's cleared of confusion. So, Tetra, do your thing.
How rude!
Now, by blowing the AF gauge, we do lose the little bonus damage from Bullseye, but we get the benefit of multiple attacks. Alright, so we are on turn 17. Even if we don't quite defeat that core, we should still have a few turns left over afterwards. So, we've been very diligent about keeping up the party buff, so we'll just attack. Mind's Eye should still be in effect. Mare of Epsilon should still be in effect, so we'll just Torrens Spatha. And that reduces water resistance for the entire time of the AF burst. She'll just attack, because that's what we want her to do. And we'll spam Holy Sabers, so I guess we'll just do all ones. Now, 2 of the 4 characters are not doing water damage, so they're not keeping the AF gauge going. Alright, it looks like the boss, you can see when I click, might be defeated. Alright, so once again we had a failed first attempt. We looked at what was not working for us, and we tweaked the party, and it worked. And like before, I'm going to stop recording so that way I can hopefully make the next one its own video. So for those of you who are watching the standalone video, hope this helps. Casual Crono signing out. For the rest of you, we're just going to continue our Lavog rampage. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to tackle Lavog Epsilon. So let's switch to the Wiki. And Lavog Epsilon, we have to use thunder damage or, of course, null type damage. It does blunt, inflicts darkness, does a fixed damage for wind attacks, then thunder damage on all enemies, big burn. So kind of the same general patterns as before. Now this time, it increases another force gauge. And it's, let's see, it stacks 99 twinkles on himself. And it increases by the number of stacks. Each time damage is taken, it reduces. So it wants us to do lots of damage. And let's see, anything else? And that's at the start of the turn. Oh, that's going to be annoying. So we have to do lots of damage every single turn. Okay. And it has to be single target damage, because once it divides, the core is the lower left area. And we don't want to kill everything else. Alright, well, time to form a team. Alright, this is my water team. Let me put back Dunnereth Alter AC, or Dunnereth Alter AS, and swap Elseal back, because as helpful as AS was on that fight, I still usually have normal style for Verdanta purposes. Alright, and Leclerc is my... Alright, that's correct for that team, and sub-sidekick is Moke. Alright, Thunder. Let me move the microphone a little bit, get comfortable. Alright, Izuna and Kamilanaz pretty much do AE damage. They're out. I'm kind of thinking Victor might be a good choice. Let me switch back to... Yep. Okay. I'm kind of thinking Victor would be a good choice for damage dealer.
Looking for some adventure? Well,
Oops.
alright.
And that is because... let's see, Thunderous Blade is also Thunder as well. Good. Where is it? All enemies are... Thunderous Blade is a single enemy attack. So we can probably use it. Maybe. I'm looking at that random enemy Thunder Slash. That could be possibly annoying. Alright, so that's his unique series. Divine Thunder is typeless. Let's try Vajra for his other skill. Alright, yep. So he's going to be geared kind of like Sesta. Let's give him Power Badge. Now, I'm sure the Lavog has status immunity. However, this time, most of our damage is going to have to be in AF bursts. And if that's the case, we should have pain. So that means, let's see, let's do Katana, Power of Agony, Power of Pain, and I don't, let's see, I know we could create an expose. I'm not sure how often we'll have it. So you know, actually what might be a really good idea, the adversity ore might be really good for these, since when they divide up there's 5 of them, so that would probably actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that probably would have really helped in the previous fights as well. Alright, let's see, what do I have right now? Oh, well, you know, I completely didn't think about it, but okay, I like that combination as long as we can keep pain up. Villette I'm going to put her pain skill, Deleterio Scarpello. I'm going to put that as her spammable skill, so that way, on the second use in an AF burst, it will apply pain. And then we have a reduction of type resistance until the end of their turn. We will have an inflict exposed thunder whenever I have Didomenas stacked. So actually that weak point badge might be better for Victor than the bullseye, because we're pretty much never going to be doing significant damage outside of an AF burst. Alright, weak point. Check, check, check. Okay. And then Dialysis is the other one that I have currently chosen. Oh, I did like that buff reversal. Yeah, let's keep that up. Alright. So those will be hers. We have a Victor. Orlea. I'm thinking her defense du tonnerre and resistance will be helpful. So let's keep those on there. I don't really feel she's the best thunder tank, but so support. Who should we use? Nikoko, possibly? I've heard really good things about Xion ES. He does have some all-enemy attacks, and I don't have him Stellar Awakened, so I'm not sure if he would be a good choice for damage. Alright, so Nikoko is definitely a possibility. Primaya. Multi-beam. Okay. Gives her overcritical, but not other people. Not seeing much. She has pain as well, but still leaning towards Nikoko. Let's try it. Now mine, Nikoko, and this is Alter Nikoko. Notice the K's, not the C's. Mine is not Stellar Awakened, so I do not have the benefit of her Stellar skill. But she does have Odd Rumble, which reduces resistance even more. Stacks a Yang orb on her. Let's see. She likes to have shadow allies. Villette's light, Victor's light. Yeah, that's not going to take effect. Alright, so we're not going to have Leave Meow alone. Alright, so we're just going to kind of ignore that part of it. Alright, my apologies. Let's see. That provides a link. Villette's chain ability is not a link, so I don't think that will compete. Whoops. My apologies. Okay, to the ally, to the user's left. Victor needs to be on her left, if he's the one to have the link. And it stacks weapon break. His own weapon, so slash in his case. Okay, Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, let's see. This team is lacking an MP regen, but we don't care about Magic Fate stance. Alright, that reduces power. Okay, that provides pain as well. Okay. Valette, one of her skills does give MP regen. Where is that? Aha. Paleostravranti. And deploys Thunder Zone. Okay, both of those are very helpful. Buff reversal is very helpful. We might not need... This seems weird, being her stellar skill. Moving the mic again. But that type resistance decrease, that's nice too. Oh, decisions. I think if this is going to be a battle of attrition, I think we absolutely need to have some form of MP regen and some way to redeploy a Thunder Zone. I hate doing that, but... It is what it is. Alright. So we need to... Oops. We need to gear Nikoko. Start with that. Alright, weapons. Let's give her... Where's my purity staff? There it is. Status resistance, damage over time decreases, and an improvement on speed. Yes, please. Alright. Resistances, HP badge, 2000. Check. Enhance if max HP Eastern. Alright. Now let's look at Victor. Katana, Barokai, Cursed, Wind, Thunder. Alright. Aside from Katana and Thunder, so let's do it this way. We know good old Aldo is Barokai and has 4 slots. So, personality. Oh, is there no almighty power Barokai? Oh, and that's... Okay. Well, that solves that issue. Either that or I just don't have it yet, which is totally possible. Alright. Well, let's see what personality Grasta I even have. Nothing of interest. Sound body, Barokai. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. So, let's find the Katana user.
I'm ready.
Katana. So we want power of Thunder Katana, for sure. We're probably going to want enhance if max HPs, for sure. So if we burst, we're probably going to be at full health for the burst. Alright, what else was Victor? Whoops, not stellar. I don't think I had any cursed, so I guess just more katana and thunder stuff. So, katana user could literally be anyone.
Ready when you are.
Let's give him resonant power, shadow. Actually, light, light, shadow, shadow, light. So half and half. Okay. Power of offense. I think I have the enhanced. Yes. Oh, Villette is equipped with it right now. Okay. I have read that they do stack the enhanced power of offense and regular power of offense. So I guess the only other one that makes sense is resonant power light. Half the party is light, half the party is shadow. And we have power of offense thunder. Alright. Faded star proof. Faded star proof. Faded star proof. Faded star proof. Okay. Sidekicks. I liked Tetra too much. And let's reduce slash resistance with Kuwamaru. Do I like that? Why don't we go with Moke? Maybe not. I don't think we'll hit any weak points, will we? Nikoko doesn't create an exposure, does she? No. Okay. I don't think Moke will be hopeful, but given recent fights, it'll probably take at least one round to test things out and tweak. So we will go back to Kuwamaru. Alright. Here we go. Epsilon. Oh, must have tried him before. Oh, probably should have gone to an inn or something. Alright, well, let's reduce power, reduce slash resistance, and reduce power. Well, look at all that damage. Power reduction worked. Alright, start of turn, it should jump up to 99 again. It did. Alright. Let's pray. Let's buff, create the link. Buff. And get the MP regen going.
I won't let you die.
Alright, we've cast the debuffs, we've cast the buffs, and now we can work with the AF gauge. We're going to blow it, we're going to spam everyone's first skill, and hopefully get those stacks down far enough that we start seeing some damage. And on the second Deleterio Scarpello, we should see pain as well. So all ones, I think. Wonder if I should burst as well. Alright, we do see a little bit of damage. Let's see what a burst does. Might help if I gave him his stellar skill. Oh, I guess bursting's not really going to do that much, is it? Basically just an extra attack. Wonder if it'll reduce the stacks. Oh, it will. Okay. So that's good to know. Alright, we hit the HP stopper. And right now I'm just trying to build back up the stellar burst gauge as much as I can. Alright, big burn. Wow. Wow. That's not good. Alright, so how do we prevent that? We had a bunch of damage reductions up. And we even had hold grounds up. Alright, well, going back to the fire Lavog Alpha, whenever we had damage issues, we would bring in Yuna. So I'm kind of thinking that might be the case here. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to keep dodging 20,000 hits. I've already used up hold grounds. And we are already on turn number 7. Oh, is it clearing its debuffs after every turn?
This time I mean it. Beyond back to basics.
That might be it. During the stellar burst, or during the AF burst, I just did the ones attack, the main attack. I didn't think to debuff him because I assumed the buffs were already up. Let's see. Yeah, he cleared his debuffs. And now Victor's in the wrong position for the link as well. Alright, status. Turn 8. So let's do, I guess, threes, twos, and ones. 3, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2. And we should be able to spam all the ones now. One, 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 one. I would say all we need is 1 billion in damage. But we can test. We definitely have all the debuffs up. Ah, so close. And now, of course, we have to wait. I'm getting some more thoughts. We're back to 99 stacks. Alright. Debuff. 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 Alright, so what we're doing, we're learning. He clears his debuffs, so we need to make sure that we can debuff every single time. At least once. Which means basically while we're stalling for the AF gauge to fill up, that's the time to basically just cast nothing but debuffs. Hey, we're doing damage on him. Why is that happening? Yeah, we're already on turn 11 and he hasn't even split, so I'm not attempting to... well, let's do that. I'm not even attempting to win this turn, or this round, but... I'm just kind of learning the procedure here. One point of damage. 1 point. Okay. So let's test this theory out. If we blow the AF gauge and defeat him, we need to make sure that debuffs are up. So... let's just do that and that for now, and then we'll do the 3s, 2s, 1s. We're just basically reducing those stacks as quick as possible. Alright, 3, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2. All 1s. Alright, we have our debuffs in place. Let's see if this plan works. And we have a Stellar Burst to work with. Alright, there's the big burn. Okay, I guess he just didn't attack that time around. Alright, we're on turn 13, so the odds are very much against us. Let's check the wiki. We're on the right one, right? Lavog Epsilon. Alright. The core is, according to this, the back left guy. So that means that guy. Alright, there's really no reason to Stellar Burst right now. So let's use this 3 turns, 3 turns. Let's fill up the AF gauge. That debuffs all enemies. Debuffs all enemies, debuffs all enemies, and buff reversal. Let's see, we're not in a thunder zone either. Alright, we're on turn 14. I wonder if we could do 500 million in one with basically half a bar. Let's just be safe, I guess. Alright, let's Divine Thunder, debuff, debuff, and debuff again. Keep that damage down to a minimum. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Looks like she's not praying anymore. Okay. If we have any chance of winning this fight, we need to blow the AF gauge and knock that person out now. So we are going to do the 3s, the 2s, and the 1s, and burst immediately. Alright. And we'll just... yeah, we'll just do that too. Alright.
I didn't ask you for a critique, but
I'm not in a thunder zone. Just realized that. Did I remove my ability to create a thunder zone? Oh, no, I'm in a thunder zone again. Oh, this is scary. So close. Nope. Should have waited one more turn. Or gotten into the thunder zone quicker. Alright, so let's start thinking about what's working and what's not. I think Victor as damage dealer is doing okay-ish. It's just a matter of quickly really of quickly burning down. The question is, what's the weak link here? Alright, turn 17. I don't think we have a choice. We're going to have to burn it.
I didn't ask you for a critique, but
So now we're going to try and blast through as much as possible and then debuff once we hit the stopper. Alright, I think we might have hit the stopper, so
won't let you die.
Alright, he destroyed the Thunder Zone. They're all attacking. Mana definitely is a bit of a problem for Orlea. Turn 18. Alright, he's going to attack. Debuff. Debuff. We need to be in a Thunder Zone. That would be this one. So hopefully just 2 debuffs instead of 3 is not a critical mistake. Well, that was a lot of damage. And that knocked her out of praying as well. Alright, we are on turn number 19. I guess reducing resistances is pointless if it clears its debuffs after every turn. Alright, attack, attack. I guess let's try praying and buff reversal and debuffs. So this is turn number 19. I'm basically trying to fill up this as much as possible so we have as much of it as we can to work with.
I won't let you die.
And she has no mana now. Thanks a lot, Lavog. Epsilon. Alright, knocked her out of praying. Alright, turn number 20. Moment of Truth. Alright. Vajra reduces slash resistance, and Divine Thunder will buff him. None of that helps. Alright, so my apologies, Will. It creates the link effect, and she's a slash user, so kind of lucked out there. Alright, that doesn't help, that doesn't help. So that does. Alright, so I think we're going to try the same thing as before. He's going to do 1 Vajra to reduce slash resistance. And then we're going to do all 1s for everybody. So attack, 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 and attack. So 1, 1, 1, 3, and then all 1s. And we'll of course burst immediately. So we have that one targeted. I could just go ahead and Vajra it right now. Reduce slash resistance. Alright. None of that helps. Is it buffed at all? It is not. We're in a Thunder Zone already. Alright, so I wonder if I should just lunatic. Sure, why not? And we're gonna do all 1s and see what happens.
Lend me your power, everyone.
Attack, 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 attack. I worked in one lunatic just in case. Come on, all we need is 1 billion in damage. That's all I want. 1 billion. Ooh, is it possible? One more hit. Stop. That one is out of life. The other 4 are still alive. Just in case, I guess. And that's a single enemy attack. You know what? I'm just going to play it safe. How many stacks do they have? Yeah, 15, 16. Okay. I don't want to do anything that might damage the others, just in case. Oh, yeah. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We finally one-shotted one of these things. It wasn't pretty, but we did it. And that's the 5th piece. Doesn't that mean I'm going to get a new sword? I was pretty excited when these bosses came out because it was a Chrono Trigger reference. Lavos, the big baddie, fell from the sky. You know, red meteors, all that stuff. But there really hasn't been much follow-up to this. I keep wanting so badly for Crono and the others to appear in this game. Alright, Conan, store it instead of leaving it here. Alright, I'll have to double check the wiki and see what to do next. Alright. After putting this off literally for years. Ooh, look at that number. Stop connecting. Come on, let me click. That was 544. It's now 547. And where is this? Look at that. Gamma, Alpha, Beta, Delta, and Epsilon. I wonder why the Earth one wasn't Alpha. That is the first one you encounter. Oh, that's so pretty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of when I'm not looking up other YouTubers, which I know I'm a YouTuber. I use other YouTubers all the time. I'll try something. I don't want to spend 6 hours bashing my head in trying to figure out a strategy when I know that someone out there has probably done the fight in like 3 turns with like 3-star characters. You know, so when I have the opportunity, I will take some time and try to figure out my own strategies. You just saw me defeat 3 Lavoses in a row. And Lavogs, not Lavoses. I was talking about Chrono Trigger. But anyways, and you saw, you know, I lost once. I tried to identify the problems. I chose characters on my party that I thought would fix those problems, and then I tried again. And in this particular case, I had success each time, though the 3rd time I didn't have to try again, so yay, go me. That said, there's other times, like the Wizards tournament, for example, that thing was miserable. I was stuck on the Ocean Lord. I must have tried that guy like 15 times. I even looked up strategies and those still didn't work, at least for me. I wasn't pumping out enough damage the way that the videos displayed. But that's kind of my approach. I do have some success, obviously. I don't think I'm a horrible player. And I've certainly conquered a lot of stuff out there. But hopefully me talking it out and explaining what I was doing kind of helps you to maybe do the same general approach. You have characters that I don't have access to. I have characters that you don't have access to. There's no one-size-fits-all model for this game. But the general philosophies: am I taking too much damage? Find someone that can reduce that damage. Am I not doing enough damage? Find a character that can produce more damage. In a fight, is an area of effect damage a good thing or a bad thing? In these Lavog fights, very, very bad. So Verdanta, Azuna, your typical go-to people are not the people you go to. Look for single target damage dealers. And then finally, how I use the wiki to kind of read up on the strategies. I read the tips, and then I create a team and see how it does. So I really hope this helps. If you've actually watched this entire video, all 3 Lavogs, kudos to you. I'm not sure if I would have that kind of patience. Maybe I'd throw it on in the background and listen to me ramble while I was playing some other game. But it worked. We had success. I probably need to reformulate this party. 4 of the 6 people are not part of it. And hopefully you saw, like, when I was choosing Grasta and things like that, you understood why I was choosing those personality traits and stuff like that, the shareable stuff. Look at characters' personality traits. If you have the shareable Grasta that goes with it, use it. It definitely helps. So, that's it. I hope this video helps. This is Casual Crono, signing out.